Good evening and welcome to our 6th edition of Cage Full Throttle, where tonight we talk about the Unlimited National Banger Championship of the World at Ipswich last weekend. Myself, Andy Watts. With me tonight, as always, is Matt Josie. Good evening, Matt.
Hello, Andy. A lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, a massive discussion is, of course, the 2017 World Final, which obviously you and Jordan are going to collaborate on.
Yep, Jordan Holland is with us tonight. Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening, Andy. Good evening, Matt, and hello, everyone. Yes, as we've said, we've got a lot to discuss tonight about the controversy of the World Final this year, but nonetheless, it was a great night. So, yeah.
Certainly an excellent night. I mean, 269 cars in total. I mean, I think that's beaten all records for Unlimited World Finals at Ipswich.
Yeah, definitely, and probably the biggest turnout of Unlimited National Bangers in the UK. So yeah, really great turnout this year. There's been arguments about whether there was too many cars. I don't know what I think of that, Andy, to be honest.
In this day and age, when it comes to Unlimited National Bangers, you can never have too many cars. The more the merrier. You know, I don't believe in capping some meetings, because you're always going to have some that drop out. You're always going to have some that don't turn up. And it showed. They said there was going to be about 290 cars a week leading up to it. 269 turned up, so lost nearly 20 cars. So yeah, the more the merrier, I say.
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know, people saying as well that the no-shows have ruined meetings before in the past. So actually only getting 20 no-shows isn't bad, as you say, for the Unlimiteds nowadays. So yeah, hopefully it will continue into next year.
And of course, some of the cars that turned up, I mean, as always, paintwork absolutely outstanding. Of course, one of the biggest head turners had to be the Mark 1 two-door Granada from Boxer Jack. Would anyone agree?
Yeah,
that was stunning.
Definitely.
Beautiful car.
And of course, he wasn't the only one, though, was he? I mean, there's some big yanks out there. Of course, Corpriella turned up, as always, a massive, great Cadillac limousine, and Billy Bond also turned out in a big yank tank as well, and put that to good use, as we all saw.
With a dead squirrel.
And of course, yeah.
No further comment on that.
Well. No. But I think the biggest talking point from the whole World Final, obviously, was the World Final race itself, coming the decision at the end of the race to declare who was actually the World Final winner.
Yes. You know, Stephen Bolton crossing the line first position after a really good drive, but then Ricky Finney asked Speedworth to review the footage because he thought he'd won. And at the time, Speedworth said, yeah, right. So they looked at the video evidence that they had available to him, and they decided that Ricky Finney won. But it is worth pointing out, obviously, the transponders were not working on the two cars. But yeah, as we say, you know, the right decision was made in the end.
Indeed it was, and to be fair, as you said about the transponders, it wasn't just those two cars. The whole system actually had a glitch on it, which is the first time that has ever happened in our World Final at Ipswich. And as evidence proved, I mean, obviously at the end of the race, obviously it was put to Ricky Finney. He went and contested it, and obviously they looked at the video footage, they checked the lap sheets, bearing in mind, and a lot of people obviously slated Speedsworth obviously for their decision, which obviously they got right in the end. To bear in mind, there was 3 cameras on the night from Martin Hunt Videos, and there was actually 4 plotted around each corner of the track to look at footage. So, I mean, I'm quite surprised that they didn't actually get it right there and then, which is very unusual. But we can only apologise to those that obviously protested it after the Saturday night. And pleased to say, once further evidence came forward, the man that won it in the end got the result.
And can I just say, obviously it was a sticky situation, so you must say well done for Speedo for getting the correct result in the end, but you can't help but feel for both drivers in the whole debate. Obviously, Stephen Bolton could have potentially lost his well-deserved title, and of course Ricky Finney, who was declared the champion on the night, has had it ripped apart from him. So it was a tricky situation, but we got there in the end, and I think we should move on from it and obviously say well done to 59 Stephen Bolton, who is of course maybe the first non-English driver to win it.
Yeah, no, I think he is, yeah. I can't remember anyone else non-English actually winning it, so yeah. As you say, Matt, congratulations, Stephen. Great drive.
Yeah, maybe a female next year to win it. So there's a first for everything. Like I said last week, I wanted a last chance qualifier to win it, or a non-English driver, and of course we had potentially both in one night. So maybe a female next year then. Third time lucky.
But of course, the other, obviously, everyone was expecting was the Boxer Jack in the main race being stopped by Runa head on coming out of the scoreboard bend.
Yeah, that was a massive talking point.
Bend.
That was a
talking point.
That was one hard head on, I'll tell you that much. Folded Boxer's Granada up a treat, didn't it? Really?
Yeah, it did.
It certainly did. And it showed for all those that said, "Oh no, he builds it." I got a stand for him here. It does show that he built that car properly then, because that snapped big time.
Yeah, no.
That car was stuffed up and everything else. Sorry, John, but you just hear it all on Facebook about Boxer Jack's cars. Oh, they're strong, they're strength, and they're not right. Well, it proved because it got taken and it bent completely.
And of course, sorry, of course, it is second year. It is the second year in a row where Boxer's been stopped. Last year it was Boogie, if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so the two brothers coming together. Yeah. Tag team.
But, I mean, you had to see it coming because, I mean, I don't know if people like me were watching more of what was going on around the track rather than who was leading it. I got to admit to that on this occasion. But I could see Runa lurking around on the infield. And I know Jonesy was lurking around on the infield as well, waiting for Runa to make his attack, which he then went and did. So I think a lot of people were expecting it to come. It was just what moment it was going to happen, and when it did happen, there was a lot of cheers from inside the crowd.
We've got a live comment in on the Spreaker feed from Sam Hodder, who says, "Boxer Jack, one of the smartest but most direct on the night. 262, go on Runa." That's our first.
So we know what support we've got.
Yeah. Boxer's a much loved, isn't he, on the banger scene?
He's like Marmite.
Yeah, he is.
He is like Marmite. He's like a whole host of drivers that, whether you love them or hate them. I mean, take Lee Clark. I mean, we haven't mentioned that in our reports, but he got absolutely pulverised by pretty much both the Hughes brothers and a whole host of drivers. And as video has shown, he was actually sat in the car reading the magazine while they hit him.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I saw the clip. It was pretty awesome to see. Copying Brett Gedney's antics at the Big Van meeting at Kings Lynn last year as well. So that's pretty cool. And let's not forget the tribute to 206 Kingy as well.
Yeah, that
was very heartfelt.
Yeah.
I mean, that was absolutely very heartfelt. I mean, I thought it was quite odd. I thought, hello, there's no one on pole. What have they done? They've missed a number out. And I said to someone, who was with me, I said, that's a bit odd. There's no one on pole. And then when they announced it, I mean, I've got to be honest and put my hand up. Yeah, I did get a tear to the eye for that. Yeah, I've got to admit,
I'm not surprised.
That was so heartfelt. So hats off to Speedsworth for that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, completely agree. I think most people around me actually stopped for a minute, stopped chatting, and actually there was a brief moment of silence where you had that array of respect for Kingy at that moment in time, and it was just brilliant, really. Great tribute from Speedworth.
So as well, sorry, what was the beef with Team Grey and Black during the World Final race as well? I thought I'd bring that up with the infield action.
As people know, Team Grey and Black have always been against DWO and obviously people like the Midnight Runners. I mean, it's been going on for a while now. In fact, it's been going for a good couple of years. So the ongoing feud, but the fact that it actually happened on the infield is a bit out of order.
Yeah, it is.
There was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, we like a bit of action in the World Final, but of course, I don't know, infield, not in the World Final race.
That's a no-no.
I don't like slating any banger drivers personally because I think I have the utmost respect for them because I don't have the courage to get out in a banger myself. But I must admit I don't see While the War's got that much hype about it. To be honest, because I've seen it a couple of times this season and I've just gone, well, yeah, you have one or two good hits, but then that's it really. Most of it's just team tactics, and you kind of just want them just one meeting, like a head-to-head maybe at Taunton or at Stoke in micro bangers head-to-head, and just absolutely go at it and just old-fashioned style banger racing and just
Yeah, because you don't get many
no
sort of
slowing
one-on-one
down,
team
just
meetings,
go
do you?
into them.
The one-on-one team meetings are sort of a dying,
no.
not really been happening lately. So maybe that's a suggestion for next year for any promoter that dares to do it.
Yeah, go on. I want credit for the idea, though, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course. So overall, then, obviously, 269 cars was a fantastic turnout. Did the action live up to the turnout?
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
thought nearly every race was excellent, and I think for me, it had to be the first all-comers race that really was the one that stuck out. I mean, everyone got absolutely stuck into that.
Yeah. No, I actually agree. I actually thought the weather didn't actually help, to be honest. It absolutely chucked it down for the wildcard races, and in my opinion, the track was a little bit too wet and greasy. I mean, the speed of the cars was still unreal, but driving home on a Saturday night, I couldn't help but feel what the meeting could have been rather than what it actually was. But that's just my personal opinion.
That is a bad feeling when that happens. I've been to a few meetings when, especially Mildenhall, like 10 years ago, when you had like over 100 cars, loads of tin, and it rained. And I remember the Suffolk Open in 2007 at Mildenhall, where there was about 100 cars there, plenty of cool cars, good crashing in the end, but because it was so boggy, you just thought what it could have been. But sadly, the rain can ruin things a little bit. But I think with tarmac tracks, obviously, sometimes the action can still be as good, but especially on shell tracks, shall I say, obviously it can ruin things.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that point. Yeah, so yeah, valid point.
So yeah, I think all in all, I mean, it's got to be stuck out that one of the best World Finals I've seen in a while now at Ipswich. It's certainly one that I will remember for a long time. Lots of great action, lots of big cars, and plenty of them.
And I've only just realised as well, actually, Andy, it's 7 years ago already since that massive crash at the 2010 World Final.
Yeah, and that was probably the last time. I mean, someone could hold me wrong here, but I think it's since that meeting that I haven't really felt the same buzz that I came away with from Saturday's meeting. Yeah. I mean, no one will forever forget that arch formation 7 years ago on that top bend. I mean, that's got in the history books, that crash.
I mean, I actually wasn't at that meeting, but I remember watching the videos on Overbang the Chat and on YouTube the following day, and I just kept watching it over again. It was absolutely unbelievable. And it was great to see all the drivers getting out and shaking hands as well after the crash.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty good. And obviously, again, we're going completely off topic. We don't seem to get many of those sort of big crashes anymore, do you? Where those sort of auto sculptures, like you did at Firecracker 2004. And I think it was Thunderbolt at Bristol back in 2006. Don't get them sort of crashes anymore. But yeah, I mean, obviously the World Final sounded great. So, but again, well done to 59 Stephen Bolton, who drove fantastically well. The man all the way from Ireland. So well done, and maybe hopefully he can retain it next year, or maybe it is Ricky Finney's time to win next year. Who knows?
We'll hold you to that in a year's time and see what the result is, because you weren't far off this year's one.
No, it wasn't.
But I think that pretty much sums up our World Final now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. We've got news next, haven't we, Andy? A bit of news, I suppose. Not loads, but a little bit.
It's good news how you look at it, but obviously the news announced in the week was that Mildenhall have announced their winter series dates. Some people said that it weren't going to happen earlier in the year, and now they've been released on Sunday the 17th of December. The first of the three winter series is the 2-litre National Bangers, guaranteed Mondeos for sure, and with them as well are the Junior Bangers and Super Stocks back on
Super Stocks, I can't wait. I wish I could go, but as an exciting announcement, when I saw the support formulas lined up for these fixtures, I was pretty over the moon. I mean, I won't be going, sadly, but I can't help but feel excited for them, so it should be good.
I mean, I haven't seen Super Stocks on Shell since they last raced at Coventry a few years ago when Speedsworth hosted a meeting in February. And yeah, they were always fun, and it certainly put a different perspective on Super Stocks. The next meeting after that has got the 28th of January 2018, another Sunday fixture with microbangers. We can't get enough microbangers. And with that as well is lightning rods on shale.
Oh yes, again.
Lightning rods on shale.
That would be epic. But it's not the first time we've seen a load of Sierras around Mildenhall Stadium. Of course, when RDC Promotions ran the track. You had the Super Rods there, I believe, for a few meetings.
Yeah.
They're mostly Sierras, so it's not exactly unique, but it's still exciting nonetheless, and I can't wait to see what the action will be like on track.
Yeah, no, it should be good.
Well, seeing how much damage they have on a tarmac track, I can't wait to see what Shell's going to do.
And hopefully, because it's their first time at Mildenhall, they get a large turnout and some new drivers as well. So maybe get a few more than usual.
I would say so. I mean, it showed it with the historic stock cars. They got their debut meeting. There was over 30 of them turned up. It's been a while since they had figures like that.
Yeah, that is unreal. So hopefully a big turnout for them then when they visit the Suffolk Shellway.
And the last one, obviously, being right into February now. February the 18th, another Sunday afternoon fixture for
week before my birthday.
Yay! Unlimited Open Shale Shifter. Does that feel like a bit of competition with Kings Lynn?
Yeah, it could be. And let's not forget they've got yet another unlimited fixture at Mildenhall, because of course you've got the BBA Supreme, is it? And you've got the Suffolk Open, the BWS. Yeah. And then now you've got the Open Shale Shifter. So who knows what that'd be like?
Well, if it's after the Kings Lynn Icebreaker, I think they'll have some cars for that.
Hopefully some leftovers, But hopefully a good. Hopefully it's not too boggy, because obviously February time it might rain a little bit around then. So have to wait and see on that one.
I was going to say on the subject of weather. Let's just hope that it's dry for all the meetings.
Yeah.
Well, hence why they call it a shell shifter, because most of it be in the crowd. Yeah, so we don't want that.
Bring a large coat.
Here's a memory. Mildenhall Big Vans 2006. You had the saloon stock cars and support. It was the wettest night ever. It was rain all night, and Michael Coventry said on the PA for the saloon stock car, was it Dash for Cash? They renamed it to the Splash for Cash. So maybe you might get the same there.
And obviously, the big talking point as well is always the Good Friday teams at Mildenhall, and that'll be, of course, Good Friday 2018, and it's already nearly booked.
Yeah, so it should be good. I remember these meetings used to hit 200 odd cars. So maybe you could do that again.
Great turnouts over the years. So next year's looking to be a good one already. Write that in your diary and get planning.
I've not been to Good Friday team meeting yet, but I'd love to go next year. So who knows? Might make my first visit to that meeting.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely put it on your list. I mean, you saw the video evidence from this year's one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the bit when Boxer got done, you went, "Boxer's been boxed." In the DD.
Yeah.
That was a highlight.
Yeah.
As you said.
That was quality. Yeah, I'll applaud you for that, Andy. Yeah, that's good.
Any other news to mention while we're here or not? Is it a pretty quiet week?
No, that concludes the news.
Yes.
It's all been about the World Final more than anything.
Yeah, that was quite a quick one. And now we move on to our favourite section of the podcast, well, my favourite section. It's, of course, a discussion part of the podcast. And we've got two tonight. The first one is exiting the car during a race. Where do we stand with that, guys? For or against?
Well, I think... Sorry, Jordan. I think the drivers should stay in their cars. I'll tell you for why. I've obviously been a marshal, and I have done for over 10 years. And the amount of close calls that I've seen in my time... I mean, granted, I know it's different being a driver, that you don't want to obviously be sat in the car. Obviously, if you jump out, if anyone hits it, you know you're going to be safe. You're less likely to have been injured. And obviously, I've got to bring this up. Obviously, if, for example, Michael King was out of his car on Saturday night, maybe he wouldn't have taken any damage that he'd taken that night when he got hit through the driver's side. Yeah. And I think this is where the topic is being brought up.
Yeah, and Sorry, carry on.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I was standing right next to that incident Saturday night, and it was absolutely awful. And I'm just glad that Michael was okay. Let's move away from that. I actually think that it was safer beforehand when, drivers could exit their cars. But as you say, Andy, we have had some close calls over the years. But I've actually been thinking and maybe come up with a solution. So I'm going to say it, and you guys can give your opinions on it, and obviously leave your opinions in the comments as well. What about if you had, say, 4 sectors on the track, and then had like radio communication with the drivers in the cars, a bit like we have with some of the hot rod formulas?
Ooh, that's new to me.
So then
Sounds
you could
interesting.
have sector 1 being the start finish line halfway through turn 1 and turn 2, sector 2 being from that point to halfway down the back straight, and then sector 3 from that point to halfway through turns 3 and 4, and then obviously sector 4 being the rest. And that way you can say to drivers, driver exit in car in sector 3, go slowly, be safe, because it must be hard to see the stationary yellow flags sometimes.
Yeah,
I
see what you
know
mean.
accidents happen, but that's what I thought. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
it'll work or not, but
it's an interesting idea. I mean, maybe it's an idea to put, but I don't know. It's weird. That's a unique one. That's the first I've heard of that, really. So that's an idea to take on board. But let's not forget the tragic death of 78 Dave Weir back in 2011 at Hendersfield Hills Raceway, which triggered this massive debate. Mm-hmm. And I think promoters soon came out with the idea not to let drivers out during a race. And I noticed at certain venues, drivers were still getting out of the cars at awkward times, and there was still some odd, close calls, which is quite a shame, really, because obviously I thought after that people would learn not to get out of the car during a race unless really necessary.
Yeah.
And don't forget now you've got the speed rule where drivers, once say their car's dead and there's a red flag, they have to exit the track, don't they, Andy?
They do, yes.
So yeah,
so they're actually on the actual safe side of the spectator side of it.
Yeah, which is, again, and also another thing you used to see at tracks like Aldershot was drivers used to stand behind the Armco wall as well, which I thought was quite dangerous, because if you stood there without your helmet on and that, a bit of debris could fly in your face and God knows what. So I certainly am against exiting the car during the race for these obvious reasons, and hopefully we don't get another disaster ever again. We have had some comments on Facebook too here. The first one from Thomas Dyer, who says, if they're on fire though, get the fuck out, basically. So that's one to take into consideration. Obviously, if you're on fire, you've got to get out. That's fairly obvious, I think. And then Graham Evans says, the rule should have been introduced years ago. Seen too many close calls, as everyone else has already pointed out. So, yeah, thanks for them comments. Anything else to mention on that, really? Any other thing you want to add?
I'm just going to say, obviously, as I say, I've been a marshal before, and I have seen a lot of close calls, and a lot of changes have happened. Obviously, as you say, Matt, the main reason that rule was brought in was because of the sad incident involving David Weir in 2011, and I would say, obviously, being where I've been with drivers, and as I say, drivers obviously don't want to be in their cars. If it catches fire, jump out. I would never say anything against any driver jumping out when it's on fire, with a race being on. I would never hold that against any driver, but obviously it is safer to be in the car, being strapped in, but they've got to stick to the rule, and this ain't at, certain promotions, this is at all promotions, that if a driver has gone past the car, they cannot come round the next lap and hit it.
No.
Which I thought was actually in the rules, but I still see it even now, where drivers are actually being hit after they've been sat there and a driver has hit them. They've been past them once already.
Yeah.
Well, I actually thought this was a rule already in the rule book brought in by the ORCR a couple of years ago. But as you say, at most tracks, it's actually not being...
it's not being upheld.
Yeah, upheld. I think I've only seen it ever once at one track, and that was at Arena Essex a couple of years ago, when someone got followed in, and then the next lap someone come and jacked him again. Obviously won't name names, but it's a bit silly.
Sometimes, I mean, there's two problems here. Sometimes it happens after even 5 laps or something ridiculous like that. And then what I hate most is when a car's parked on the bend, somebody does them, fair enough, and then suddenly some other teammates go flying in on 2 or 3 more occasions, which I seem is really dangerous in my opinion. And
a bit OTT, really.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, and the only thing I do disagree about, it's not so much the exit in your car during a race, it's more to do with the Speedworth rule of you leaving the track. I remember when I raced at Wimbledon back in 2015, you can no longer... Is this right, Andy? You can no longer stand in the middle of the track? Or am I wrong there? Say your car's dead during a race and the red flags come out and the race is to be restarted. You can't go on infield, can you? Is that a case now, or...?
The rule is that if you're going into the infield, again, you're not allowed to get out of the car and you've got to be strapped in.
Yeah.
And even when I think a red flag happens, again, the driver must stay in their car on the infield. I think it's only the drivers on the actual track that can get out over the wall and go and stand with the spectators. But the ones on the infield, because they're so far, inside the track, they are actually told to actually stay in their cars.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I found the beauty of racing in general is when your car's dead or whatever, or you pull off like me, and for bottling reasons. And obviously at Wimbledon, that was part of the experience of being stood on the infield watching the action happen, even though you're not racing out there. So, yeah, bit bizarre that. Are we going to move on? Although I've got an apology to make. Have we got any more comments on that?
No, clears that up.
Nope, I've got an apology to make because we did have a Facebook and Oval Chat feature of people's thoughts on the 2017 World Final. First of all, I forgot to put a post on Facebook, and nobody's put their thoughts on Oval Chat, I don't think. Let me just double check. So I've kind of messed that one up there. I do apologise. Let me just double check. No comments. So that was quite a short discussion. But now we move on to the first time in a while. It's Jordan's off-topic section where he discusses all the stock car and latest hot rod news and whatever's that been going on. So I move on to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Matt. And first of all, congratulations to ex-National Banger driver 713 Ian Beaumont, who won the 1300cc stock car World Championship up at Logelly in Scotland on the 23rd of September, so a couple of weeks ago now. Fairly destructive race I've heard, and 1300s never disappoint, especially in the big races. Also, moving on to 2 litre hot rods. On the 30th of September, George Turicki won the English Championship at a very wet Northampton International Raceway, with Paul Wright finishing second place and Dave Leach finishing third place. That night, Stuart McLeod also won the National Hot Rod Final for another World Qualifying round. And a week before that, on the 23rd of September again, Jack Blood won the National Hot Rod Final that night. And that night at Birmingham was also Dan Smith's first ever win in a National Hot Rod after making the step up from 2 litre hot rods. So well done to Dan on that. And also, just to update you on the Brisk Formula 1 stock cars shootout series, after 8 rounds completed so far, it is Stuart Smith in 390 who currently leads the way from Frankie Wayman Jr. Stuart currently sits 40 points ahead of Frankie, and I think there's 4 more rounds to go, so still a lot of points to play for, and could be an interesting end to see who gets that silver roof. And I think that's pretty much it in regards to that, all up to date. Yeah.
Cool. Well done, Jordan. Coming to the end now of the podcast already. It's been quite a quick one, hasn't it? We've got the fixtures handy now to finish the podcast, pretty much.
We have indeed. This Saturday night at Mildenhall, once again, we present the rear-wheel drive National Bangers for their championship. Obviously, they've been ongoing series throughout the year, and now it all comes down to who will be crowned the 2017 rear-wheel drive champion. And also featuring as well are back with us the 1300cc stock cars and the National Saloon stock cars with their white and yellow championship, all starting at 6 o'clock this Saturday night. And then at Scunthorpe, it's big van bangers and limousines. Excellent mixture.
Odd combination, I'd say. A very odd combination, but I like it. I think it's been done before. It's not the first time. So interesting fixture, certainly.
And also, again, on Saturday at the Lochgelly up in Scotland, it's the Microbanger World Cup. Another World Championship.
Yeah, another world championship to mention, but this meeting's very popular as well over the last few years at Lochgelly. They always get a very large turnout. I think over 100 cars each year, so that should be a good session up there if you're in Scotland.
And then going on to Sunday, this Sunday coming, Aldershot Raceway, 1 p.m. start time for my final commentary at Aldershot for 2017. It's the unlimited back to basic bangers.
I had to shed a tear there when you said that. He lost commentary of the year at Aldershot.
I can live
Biggest
with that.
fan.
I'm glad someone likes me.
Oh.
But, yeah, unlimited back to basic bangers. Obviously, they're up to just under 30 cars now, and also featuring our stock rods, mini Super 2s, and bone building Ninja Sprint cars. We're all starting at 1 o'clock.
I just noted it down now. 328 Mike Parry from the Bilge Brigade has a very cool car lined up as well.
And I bet he hasn't shed any light on what it is. But
No,
I don't think I want to know.
He's keeping it a secret. He's keeping it a secret for the day, so it should be cool no matter what it is. And
Isn't it old and French?
Yes, I think so. I believe so.
That's
yes.
the only clue you're getting.
Yeah, that's the only clue I've got, and I forgot to put that on the notes. But yes, it should be good. Obviously, not only does he bring out some cool machinery, but some top paintwork as well. Some proper traditional paintwork. Nothing too... none of this airbrush stuff, just keeping it real.
Simple.
If it's old and French, I've got a feeling it might be a Citroen DS.
Ooh,
And
who knows?
Don't know what they are. Have a look at what one is.
Yeah, we'll have to have a... Oh, yes, I do know what you're on about. Yes, it would be interesting if we saw one of them out there. But we'll have to wait and see, I'm afraid, on that one.
And also as well, Ringwood Cheetahs have got their Dave Forrest Memorial meeting, which features both big and small van bangers, including a figure of 8 small van race.
Yes, it sounds fantastic as well. Nearly 40 big vans, I believe, booked in, and plus there's at least 15 small vans. Of course, featuring that figure of 8 meeting, but some cool machinery as well. 523 Swampy's got an old LD ambulance lined up for that. I believe, who is it? Is it? It's not Bro. It's the other. I always get two of them mixed up. But there's a Talbot camper van going that I was going to race originally, and that's going to Ringwood Cheetahs now. And there's some cool cars, cool vans. I'll say there's a Mark III Transit Dormerville bus going as well. So plenty of top van machinery there for the second annual Dave Forrest Van Memorial meeting. So get down there, because if I wasn't going to Aldershot, I'd certainly be going there. That's for certain.
And then I'm just going to go on to the following weekend for the Saturday, the 21st of October at the Birmingham Wheels Raceway for the final round of the Banger Gold Rush Series, all starting at 6 o'clock with 2 litre hot rods and stock rods.
Ooh, that should be cool. Any more fixtures coming up? Any more big ones before we come next live on air?
Plenty of big ones. We got National Banger under 1600cc Aldershot Open Championship at the Aldershot Raceway, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday the 22nd of October, featuring as well National Saloon Stock Cars, Bone Builder Micro Stock Cars, and the Southern Championship for 1300 stock cars as well.
And not forgetting Stan Lake's annual Street Banger Open Championship, over 150 cars booked in for that.
Wow, that has a good turnout.
Yeah, it has. You're quite sport for choice that day. Obviously, Aldershot Open, Stan Lake Street Banger Open, and I think there's another meeting as well. But yeah, plenty of good meetings that day.
And one more to add, Halloween Havoc 2017 at Mildenhall at 2 p.m. start time. But I will advise you all now to check the website leading up to the meeting, because I've just got that inkling it's going to start a bit earlier than that. But it's National Banger Crazy Races, Destruction Derbies, Reliant Robin British Championship, and Mini Stock Mildenhall Drivers Championship, plus a big fireworks display, and to end it all, Caravan Destruction Derby. What an afternoon of racing.
Yes, should be good. And I think we're coming to the end of the pod. Oh, carry on, Andy. Carry on.
I was just going to say, this might be the only thing that you could mention, is the Forza 7 Cage League.
Oh, Forza 7 Cage League, yes. It's starting Monday from 8 o'clock. We've already got, I think, 18 people booked in for it. It's a bit of fun on the old Xbox One, so if you've got Xbox Live and Forza Motorsport 7, come along, book in. It's the group on Facebook is called Caged Forza 7 League, I think it's called. So yeah, it should be good. Unlimited C-Class bangers and Sierra stocks Class B, so we got all the sort of support formulas as well. So it should be good. And also, it's worth mentioning, guys, as well, we've got our first ever guest in a fortnight's time for our next podcast. And that is, of course, fantastic news. We have got the new 2017 National Banger World Champion 59, Stephen Bolton, is coming on, which I cannot wait for. So,
brilliant.
Yes, that is a proper thing to look forward to in 2 weeks' time.
I just feel really left out that you've gone for something on Xbox One. I'm a
Yeah, I
PS4.
know. Yeah,
I'm
there's
on
plenty.
PS4.
Yeah. Oh, you got a PS4. See, this is the thing on Forza. All the customization you got there is unbelievable. You can do support formulas, bangers, vans, truck racing. Got the whole lot. So you're missing out big time, Andy. Certainly.
But I was going to, while I think about it, there was going to be a new game on PS4 that obviously has already gone live on the PC as well. And I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It came out around.
Wreckfest, yeah.
Wreckfest,
Yeah. Has anyone found any more news of whether that's coming out on PlayStation yet? Because I've been looking all year for that. And
It was announced. We're going completely off topic here, aren't we, from the podcast? But
Yeah.
it has been announced for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But this is a while back now, so God knows any further developments on that. But the only downside is, though, sadly, you won't get the banger tracks and the skins and that kind of thing. So you just get the bog standard game. If you want all the mods, you've got to get the PC version, like me.
That's okay then. And I think we'll tie up this edition of Cage Full Throttle. Has anyone else got any last comments?
Not really.
No.
Just well done
No.
again to 59 Stephen Bolton, who's our new world champion. It's well deserved.
Indeed.
Yes.
And
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think it's going to be an exclusive for Cage Full Throttle that we actually get to interview him as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it should be good. Hopefully for the website too, if Bryson can do some sort of interview with him. So we've got all that to look forward to. And I will be at Aldershot this Sunday, like I said, taking photos for the Unlimited Back to Basics. So should be good. Hopefully get some good photos as well.
Yeah, and I shall be just rambling on about what's going on as well.
Like usual.
Yeah.
Nothing changes there.
No, nothing changes there. Well, that concludes our 6th edition of Cage Full Throttle. Big thank you for all of you listening, for all those that got involved on the comments in our discussion as well. And a big thank you to Matt, Josie.
Thank you, Andy, as always.
And, of course, our panellist, Jordan Hollands as well. Big thank you to Jordan.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, looking forward to 2 weeks now. Stephen Bolton on. Should be a good show, that.
It will indeed. So look out on the Cage Facebook page and the website as well for more news and updates coming up with our next podcast. From all of us here at Cage Full Throttle, good night.
Good night.
Good night.